Welcome to the class. In this class, the title of the paper we're studying is Animal Diversity 2, Biology of Chordates, and the instructor is Dr. Sneha, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, St. Joseph's College for Women, Vishakhapatnam. The topic we are studying is Structure and Function of Frog's Heart. The contents include structure of heart, functioning of heart, and the learning outcomes after studying the structure and function of frog's heart. You're able to identify and label the external and internal parts of the frog's heart, able to explain the flow of blood through frog's heart, and describe how its structure actually supports double circulation, which is adapted to amphibian physiology. So, we are discussing the Rana hexadactyla, which is commonly known as the Indian green frog, which is an amphibian belong to the family Ranidae, which is very commonly seen in our country, India. Its circulatory system is very well developed with a three-chambered heart that plays a crucial role in oxygen transport and circulation. The general features of Rana's heart. The heart of Rana hexadactyla is three-chambered. It is located in the pericardial cavity. It consists of mainly three parts, two atria or two auricles. One is located on left side and one is located on right side. One ventricle, sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. We will see the external structure of heart. The external structure of heart, as all of you know, the heart is triangular and reddish in color. It is three-chambered as we already discussed. Besides that, it also contains sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. The heart is enclosed in pericardial membrane that provides protection. As in this diagram, you can clearly able to see the external structure of Rana, where we can see here the left auricle and right auricle, and below you can clearly see a big, very big, the one ventricle that was present, and apart from that we can clearly see the other parts what we discussed as sinus venosus and as well as the truncus arteriosus. Anterior end is wide, while the posterior end of the heart tapers to a point. The broader front section is referred to as the auricles, while the narrower back section or posterior section is known as the ventricle. The auricle consists of two chambers, the left auricle and the right auricle. The both auricles are divided outside or externally by a faint longitudinal groove, making them appear as one unit externally. The ventricle is a single chamber and serves as a crucial component of the heart. It has a conical shape with robust muscular walls and is distinctly separated from the auricles by the coronary sulcus. The dorsal surface of the heart, the two precaval and a postcaval merge to form white chamber called sinus venosus. It is a thin-walled, dark-colored, triangular structure that opens into the right atrium. It receives deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the Rana's body and passages it into the right atrium. Next, truncus arteriosus. It is a tubular structure that arises from the right side of the ventricle and is called the truncus arteriosus. It extends forward over the right atrium and eventually divides into two branches to form the aortic trunks. The aortic trunks consist of the carotid arch, systemic arch, and pulmonary arch. So this is the internal structure of the frog's heart, where we can see clearly the internal structure. So this is what the auricles both are located, the left one and right one. And this is what the lower side, posterior side, where we can see the ventricle, which is a very, very thick wall structure. And here we can clearly see the opening of sinus venosus, and as well as from ventricle we can see the formation of all the three different types of arches. Let's see the internal structure of the heart. Internally, the heart is three-chambered with two auricles and one ventricle. The two auricles are clear-cutly separated from each other by interauricular septum. About right auricle is larger than left. In the right auricle, close to the septum, there is a transverse oval opening is present, which is known as sino-auricular aperture. The blood enters into right auricle through this aperture. This aperture is guarded by a two lip-like flaps called sino-auricular valves. These valves allow the flow of blood towards right auricle but prevent backward flow of the blood again into the sinus venosus. Left auricle, which is situated close to the septum, the left auricle has a small opening from the pulmonary vein, which actually lacks valves. The left auricle receives the blood from the lungs through pulmonary vein. Now ventricle. The ventricle has a thick muscular and spongy walls with numerous longitudinal clefts separated by muscular projections known as columnar carneae. The two auricles open into a single ventricle chamber through the auriculoventricular aperture, which is guarded by two pairs of auriculoventricular valves. The truncus arteriosus arises from the right anterior side of the ventricle. The ventricle opens into truncus arteriosus, and this opening is also guarded by semilunar valves. When the ventricles contract, the semilunar valves open to allow blood to flow from the ventricles to the truncus arteriosus and prevent the backward flow of the blood. Let's see the structure of truncus arteriosus, which is a thick-walled tube that carries blood from the ventricles to different parts of the body. So, as we already discussed, the truncus arteriosus is further divides into three arterial arches like the carotid arch, systemic arch, and pulmocutaneous arch. So, carotid arch actually supplies the blood to the entire head region of Rana. On the other hand, the systemic arch supplies the blood to the remaining body, and pulmocutaneous arch, it carries the blood to lungs and skin for oxygenation. Now, the functioning of heart. First, we will see the blood circulation. What type of blood circulation is present in Rana? The circulation in Rana hexadactyla is double circulation, means the blood flows twice through the heart in one complete cardiac cycle. So it is indicating a double circulation. So now see the circulation steps, like how deoxygenated and oxygenated blood actually flows in a cardiac cycle. So first we will see about the flow of the deoxygenated blood. The blood from the body returns via major veins into the sinus venosus. So the sinus venosus opens and into the right atrium and pumps this entire the deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Now coming to oxygenated blood flow, the oxygenated blood from the lungs is brought by pulmonary veins that enters into left atrium. Contraction of atria. Both atria contract simultaneously, pushing the blood into the single ventricle. The oxygenated and deoxygenated blood remain partially separated due to the trabeculae in the ventricle. Now, the pumping action of the ventricle contracts and pushes the blood into the truncus arteriosus. The truncus arteriosus directs oxygenated blood to the body and deoxygenated blood to the lungs and the skin. Regulation of the heartbeat. The heart of Rana is myogenic, means self-regulating. The sinus venosus acts as the pacemaker, initiating each heartbeat. The heart rate is influenced by temperature, oxygen levels, and nervous system signals. Now, as all of you know that Rana is leading amphibian mode of life, so now we will see the adaptations actually in terms of circulation. As we can see in Rana, the mixed type of circulation that actually allows to survive both on land and in water as well. The pulmocutaneous circulation enables respiration through both lungs and skin. The trabeculated ventricle helps reducing the mixing of blood. The three-chambered heart of Rana efficiently supports its amphibian lifestyle, though it allows some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, but its unique adaptations ensures sufficient oxygen supply to body tissues. So these are the references cited. As you can see, the modern textbook of zoology, vertebrates by R.L. Kotpal, and the source of images. Thank you students for listening the class.